Extreme Anime Radio.
I have officially hit the green button of doom. It has turned red, and we are now officially on the air. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the XAR Podcast. This is Season 13, Episode 3, April 15th, 2026. Coming to you from the realm of the internet. I am JR, and he is Nef. Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I have a lot more leg room now than I did a few hours ago. Thank you for asking.
Okay, now that engenders questions. What do you mean a lot more leg room than you had a few hours ago?
Because I removed the old speaker equipment.
Aha, I see.
So
let's do it.
I'll give a little brief synopsis here. I started noticing yesterday when I was messing around with this computer playing Animal Crossing, which I will mention during the show tonight, Animal Crossing, but I noticed that the speakers were starting to cut out. And I'm like, why could they be cutting out? And I'm like, oh, I have my air conditioning on because it's 80 degrees. The same thing today. Well, unseasonable warmth for April. And I noticed that my speakers were going out. My headphones were fine, but the speakers, the audio is fading in and out. So, of course, I wait until today. My father comes back from a little mini vacation. We do a little bit of a inquiry, the two of us, and we've come to the conclusion that the subwoofer of my old speaker system, which dates back to when I built my first homebrew system for this room during COVID, so 2020, the subwoofer must be having some issues because when I turn off the air conditioning, the speakers go back to normal. So there is some sort of electromagnetic interference with the speakers. I switch out my nice fancy speaker system, which was 2.1 channels and like over 100 watts. I traded out for these 2-watt Logitechs that were sitting in my closet, and there's no audio distortion. So now I've thrown away, I've tossed aside, I haven't technically thrown them away yet, but I have tossed aside those speakers, and I've ordered brand new speakers from the, I guess the successor to the old Sound Blaster company, who used to create the good old audio cards that we grew up with in the 1990s. You remember those, right, Nef?
Oh, yeah. I had a few of their sound cards back in the day. One thing I always hated was that they created them and they were so tight to put into the slots. It was like push, push, push. And you almost heard a snap. It was like, ugh, I don't like how this is bending, but it's going in. Okay. I don't touch it again.
So now with that out of the way, with the old speakers out of the way, I have my leg room back. And now I'm waiting for a few days for the new speakers to arrive. I had to find a middle ground because if I wanted to get a direct replacement for what I was going to get, it was going to be an arm and a leg. And I've already spent an arm and a leg this month on other things, and we'll be doing more arm and a leg spending with crown going into my mouth soon, and yikes.
Ooh, yeek. Every time I hear the word crown and mouth, I'm going, unless it's booze, I don't want to hear this. No thanks. Then Crown Royal.
So, yeah. That is my news. I understand you have some news as well.
Yeah. I'm going to be a little bit emotional, folks, so bear with me on this. My stepfather passed away today at the age of 78, I believe he was.
Oh, wow.
After a brief illness. By how brief, he was literally admitted to the hospital last Sunday, not the Sunday past, but the Sunday before, was discharged, ended up back in the hospital a week later, having lost 23 pounds in that week. And my mother was basically told, Mama Canuck was told that it was cancer. It was throughout his body. The original plan was a convalescence home. He didn't make it there. So, yeah, it has not been a good day. Needless to say, how I found out about it wasn't too thrilling either, because Mama Canuck had, in her, state of mind, sent me an email. Now, the problem is I don't look at my personal email while I'm at work. That is a policy I always hold on to.
Right.
Except I happened to do this because I was using my phone to look something up for a client.
Right.
While I was on the phone with them on another line. So I happened to see the email and read it while I'm giving advice to this client. Let me tell you, it took all of my self-control to get through that call.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, okay, as soon as this call is over, first thing I do is speed dial Mama Canuck, because I want to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, they've been married for a quarter century, so
Wow.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit rough on her.
Yeah, we're so sorry to hear about that, Nef, and we send our best thoughts to you guys at this difficult moment for you.
Well, thank you. It's going to be interesting because we talked a little bit about things that she has to take care of, and some of them she didn't think about. For example, returning, certain IDs, how to do it, where to do it. And as I told her, you're going to need me to take you around because Mama Canuck hasn't driven now for, I want to say 5 years or so. So I have a feeling I'm going to be on call, which is ironic because the Gray Ghost goes in and the summer shoes get put back on tomorrow morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just one of those wonderful timing things.
Have you had the warm weather this week up there the way we have?
At one point, I'm trying to convert this into U.S. units. 72, I think it was yesterday. Today it was 68. But it's just like, and I can feel the winter tires just sort of squirming, going, "We don't like this. This sucks." And I'm like, "Okay, fine. You're getting put into cold storage now till October again, but you got to wait till tomorrow."
All right. Right now, where I'm at. Granted, let's look at the time. 8:15 p.m. The sun has gone down, and it is 80 degrees outside.
Okay, I just checked. 68 Fahrenheit outside right now here, so it's like, yeah, it's a bit warm.
Yeah.
I'm dressed in my work shirt, and there is a part of me that says, okay, undo this button, but no, I'll be good at least to the end of the broadcast.
But yes, for the reason that Nef mentioned, the stream for tomorrow is to be determined, so we will let you know the situation with that tomorrow. Also, we want to let everybody know, if you are listening to 71 in different parts of the eastern part of the U.S., Nef, 71 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it looks like the heat's coming in. I mean, the other problem we're having right now up here anyway is rain and rain and rain. I mean, it has not stopped raining for 2 days. Like, we've got brief pauses, but every other moment it's been like rain.
Right.
And I'm seeing on the roads, and I'm laughing at this. People are zooming through puddles, and I'm going, this is a bad plan. Why is it a bad plan? First guy ahead of me, literally the water comes up and over the hood of his car.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going, oh, that's going to be bad. No, that's bad.
Liz is under a flood watch as well. We're glad that Liz is doing okay. I hope Bree is here too. Yesterday was Bree's birthday, so that's why we didn't stream last night. So we could start watching a new anime. And we'll get to that little topic in just a little bit. But I do want to point out, as I was starting to mention, this is season 13, episode 3 of the XAR podcast. If you are listening to us on Spotify or your favorite podcasting platform where you listen to the audio version of this show, you will realize on purpose that there is no season 13, episode 2. That was the episode we did a few weeks ago when right after Bree and I returned from Japan, and a lot of that was show and tell. So if you notice that episode 2 isn't listed, that's the reason. If you'd like to go watch episode 2, please go to YouTube where we have that episode available. A lot of show and tell. We show a lot of photos, a few videos, some hi. Hello, Bree. My computer decided it needed to update everything. Hope I didn't miss much. No, you didn't miss much, Bree. No worries at all.
When she says computer decided to update, I was literally driving to work today. And my car decided it's going to update right now. Normally, it waits until I am parked.
Yeah.
To do this. It decided as I'm driving, oh, we need to do this critical update right now. And I'm going, at least it's only for something I don't actually use. Because if it was something I actually used and I was using right now, I'd be kind of freaking out.
Oh, man. I've been doing a little research on electric cars lately with all the situation with the oil prices and whatnot. I'm not making any decisions right now, but I'll just put that out there. So I'll be conversing with you a little more about electric cars in the near future, Nef.
I'm sure it'll be an electrifying conversation.
But anywho, so if you are listening, I'm going to ask Nef to repeat something that he said at the start of the last show regarding a special guest announcement at Anime North, because I want you guys to listen to that again. So, Nef, would you please recap that news?
Yes. As you may know, Anime North has hit 30 years. I have attended almost every year, except one where I was in a physical rehab center. But let's not go there again. Anyways, one of our very special guests from Japan is a very, very talented voice actress who has voiced many characters, but one she's voiced twice. Approximately, now I'm trying to think time-wise, I think it's about 20 years apart, give or take a few years. That would be one Miss Kiko Inoue, also known for Belle Dandy and Oh My Goddess, both the original and the remake, as well as many other voices, including from Komi Can't Communicate, Komi's mother, Shoko, the Eternally 17, which is hilarious because it's like, wait a minute, to hear the voice of Belle Dandy sounding like saying that, I'm just like, blink, blink, blink. Okay. But not only do we have one Inoue, we have two, because her daughter is coming as well, who's also a VA in her own right. Honioka, I believe it is. I don't have the name right in front of me, so yes, I believe you got that right, JR. Again, we're going to have a mother-daughter duo, which is something I've never seen in Anime North in 30 years. But again, 30th anniversary, we're throwing all the parties. Nice. Speaking of parties, once again, we are having the Anime North charity auction, and all the proceeds go to Toronto Hospital for Sick Kids. We've already gotten a lot of wonderful donations, some of which JR has generously sent my way. I will be getting some other donations from another source, which I will hopefully be able to show before the convention. They will send them to me. It is a person who works with voice actors. And when I explained what was going on, they said, sure, we'll send you some stuff. And I said, thank you very much, because we're all trying to raise a lot of money to help a very good cause. And again, I say this as a former Sick Kids kid myself. So I like to think of it as giving back in a way.
Of course. And I sent you a message earlier. About a week ago, I sent the final shipment of stuff that Bree and I bought in Japan for the charity auction and for you. And today, it finally made its way to Montreal. And I was a little worried, but checking the tracking, saying that, 4 p.m. presented in Montreal for customs inspection, 4:01 p.m. inspection complete going off to Canada Post. So it looks like they didn't open the package, Nef.
The good news is there apparently wasn't a weave in Montreal.
But yeah, that means if it's in Montreal and it's priority shipping, then you've got to get it tomorrow or Friday or something.
Yeah, I would say probably Friday, just to a lot because of the weather right now. Because, like I said, it is gross outside.
Yeah. So, Bree, I was just telling before you walked in, your birthday was yesterday. So once again, happy birthday to my Bree. And we were starting a new show that has been released on Netflix called Love Through a Prism. Have you heard of it, Nef?
That is one of the titles that I was thinking about. There's another one that I'm going to start as soon as I get, some free time. Marriagetoxin.
Okay.
Which the premise sounds absolutely insane and just, right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
A person who makes poisons for a living has to get married. Blink, blink, blink. To save his sister. Blink, blink, blink. Okay, let's.
It's got an Apothecary Diaries idea, people dealing with poison.
You could say it would be a little bit of, instead of, Sherlock Holmes, it would be Hemlock Holmes.
But no, we finished Apothecary Diaries. Very thrilled. I believe they're coming out with another season of Apothecary Diaries in the fall. And then they're coming out with a movie at the end of the year in Japan. So that franchise is all well and alive. Love Through a Prism follows a Japanese exchange student in London at the turn of the 20th century, so early 1900s. I saw the creator's name, and I blinked for a second. The creator is Yoko Kamio. At first, I read Yoko Kano. That wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, maybe she's branched out from music to do something like this. You never know.
But speaking of music, one of the artists, well, in fact, the main musical performer here is a name that may not be familiar to you, but is definitely familiar to me. Naoki Chiba. He is a Japanese composer, and the name is familiar because he has created music that has been used in the Gran Turismo video game series and subsequently has been used on the GT Lounge.
Aha!
So it's very interesting to see him do the transition, if you will, from the lounge music of Gran Turismo to the seriousness that we find in this series.
Now, speaking of music, I'll just digress for half a second. I let Spotify do random things as I'm driving home from the chiropractor today. You would not believe the track that came across my playlist.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember the show, Shimanometa? The Shimanometa. The show caption goes, the world where dirty jokes don't exist.
Okay.
That's the one where basically you have the lewd terrorist, the female who wears the panties on her face.
Oh.
Yeah, that one. The opening from that one is on Spotify. And I mean, okay, fine. Anybody who knows the artist, Sumira, I can't remember how to pronounce her last name. Uesaka, yes. She's done a lot of other stuff, including Alia, sometimes How Is It Feeling in Russian, etc., etc. But this show and that track, if you've ever watched the show, you will literally just start laughing because you will then start remembering all the things you saw, and you're just going, "Oh, yikes!"
Oh boy. Well, I still Liz was kind enough to give me a Spotify subscription, which I still haven't set up yet. So if I find the time, I'm definitely going to do it. It's easier for me to do Spotify in the comfort of my own home instead of on the driving around, because I still have an older model car that, doesn't play Spotify on its own.
Wait a minute, you have CarPlay on that car, don't you?
I have a 2018 Subaru, and for the type of car that I have, the CarPlay came out in 2019.
No.
Yeah. So another reason why a new car is in the works so soon.
Yeah, that and the fact every time you pump gas, you cry.
Yeah. So, in typical Netflix fashion, love through a Prism, all the episodes of the series have been released. So we watched the first episode. Very interested in seeing where that goes. You have cores that let you play from your phone. Yeah, that's true. If I put it through my phone, then yeah.
Okay, I'll stop you right there because Netflix is pulling stunts with some of the animes that they are doing, and the internet has caught them at it. The latest JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Oh. They released, I think it was 2 or 3 episodes, and then said, "We'll see you later." Everybody's like, "What? What are you doing?" And then they're like, "Okay, we'll release them, but here's when." And it's just like, "Whoa! I've never seen Netflix pull that stunt."
Trolling?
Yeah, I don't know if it was trolling or just somebody at Netflix figured, we'll show a few episodes. That'll be fine. It'll keep everybody's, interest up until we can get the rest of them done.
They released 1 episode, Liz says.
1? Okay, I thought it was more than that, but 1, and then all of a sudden it's like, huh? This isn't Netflix. What are you doing?
Right. One series that you're paying attention to as well, that you've talked about before, but I haven't seen. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Another new season is out. And apparently there was news the other day about the manga. Did you see that?
The manga? No, I haven't seen news about the manga.
Okay. It was originally reported that the 32nd and final version of the manga will be released in June. And then Anime News Network updated their article to say, they made an update to the original post. Volume 32 will not be the final chapter of the manga.
Okay, wait a minute.
Or at least they took out that term. So whether 32 is or isn't, I guess, is to be seen.
So you mean they're pulling an Alex Ovechkin? Will he stay or will he go? Will he stay or will he go? Mm-hmm. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Although maybe at this point, maybe he doesn't know. I don't know.
But no, is that something you're watching now?
You know what? I fell off on that, and it's in my pile. But it's just like, I need more hours in my day. That's my problem, because it's like, okay, I got this to do, this to do, this to do. And then I'm like, yeah, I've got time off in May. And then I'm going, yeah, that's con, you idiot. Okay.
No, something else I read on that website is for an anime that I've never heard of, and I can't remember if you've mentioned it before. Reborn as a Vending Machine.
Yeah, I think that got another season, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. April 15th will be the English dub. Today will be the English dub launch.
You know what? April 15th. Happy U.S. Tax Day. And I say this because in Canada, we don't have to worry about that till May 2nd, I think.
Yes. We had an interesting debate on our Discord today, by the way, because today also is apparently National Anime Day. But none of us can seem to figure out who created National Anime Day and who created it specifically on this day.
Some otaku who's going, I'm getting a tax refund. I'm going to go use it to buy anime. There we go.
There are some, you read some articles about National Anime Day, and they mention the first Comiket, which was held in the late 70s, was it? In December, right?
I'd have to look that up. I don't know off by heart.
Let's see. The first Comiket, 21st of December, 1975. So we could commemorate the original Comiket date, but why is April 15th, our tax day and the day after Bree's birthday, celebrated as National Anime Day? Nobody seems to know the answer to that.
It's going to be one of those mysteries that I think we're going to start digging and find out and just be disappointed, or digging and we'll never stop digging.
Well, that's the anime news. There's some more news about Japan that I'm going to bring up that's also reported on Anime News Network. Nef, you have a special occasion today. The reason you have a Leafs logo behind you, the retirement of a broadcasting legend up in Canada, huh?
Yes, our local play-by-play guy, Joe Bowen, is retiring at the end of this season after 44 years of calling Maple Leafs hockey.
Mm-hmm.
The sad part is he started when the Maple Leafs were crap, and he's ending while the Maple Leafs are pretty much crap. I've been saying to JR off the air, Sam Rosen from New York also retired last year.
Yeah.
And the Rangers have also imploded that year. And I'm just going, what is it about longtime announcers and teams imploding under them so that they have to call absolute drivel for their last year?
A big accomplishment for him, so we wish him the best. And Nef, I read something online the other day. The regular season is over. We're going into the playoffs now. And for the first time in a very long time, I can't remember the last time this happened, none of my 3 local hockey teams are in the playoffs.
It has never happened. All 3 of your local teams have never made the playoffs in the same year. Meanwhile, the only other team in New York State, NHL hockey team, after 14 freaking years of absolute futility, have made the playoffs. Not only have they made the playoffs, they won the freaking division.
Yeah.
Okay? That was the big surprise for me. I'm like, okay, great, you made the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You won the division? Buffalo Sabres, who are you? Who are you pod people? Like, you have been 14 years crap. All of a sudden, you took your vitamins somehow and turned into this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what that earned them was a date with the Boston Bruins. This might be a short stay in the playoffs for the Sabres, but we'll see. We'll see, because I'm worried more that the Bruins' experience is going to, maybe outlast the Sabres' luck.
There's a straight shot from Buffalo to Boston, too, just across I-90 in the Berkshires.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be driving that distance. I think they'll fly that.
Yeah, of course. This is crunch time for the NHL now, huh?
Yeah, tonight and then tomorrow night is the last game of the regular season. I don't think there are any games after tonight that mean anything in the standings. I don't think so, except the Pacific Division, which has been a bit of a wet noodle all year. So we'll see now, and then of course they start Saturday. Now, given the NHL and how they screw around with scheduling, I have no idea yet what they're going to do. Like, if Rogers gets their way, then at least one of the Canadian squads will be in prime time.
Right. Now,
if they really get their way, at least 2 Canadian squads, early and then late game. But it all depends. But as I say, now it's that time for us to hunker down as hockey fans and go, okay, yeah, I can stay up to 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. go to work the next day. No, that's not happening. I used to pull that off when I was much younger. Now, no. I go to bed and I wait for the highlights in the morning. Thank you very much.
And then, well, that will come to pass, and then it'll be time for some Canadian football.
Canadian football, Major League Baseball started, but the way the Jays have been playing, I'm not sure they've realized that quite yet. Yeah.
Oh boy, well, it's a good time for sports unless you're in my neck of the woods and you're seeing them getting MetLife Stadium ready for the FIFA World Cup by renaming it the New York, New Jersey Stadium because you can't have any corporate sponsorships.
Yes, FIFA, the only organization that's more corrupt than...
Yeah. And then also there's a little bit of turmoil with regards to the public transportation to to the New York, New Jersey Stadium. So they're, according to reports, floating, if you take New Jersey Transit from Penn Station, number one, they're going to restrict access to New Jersey Transit trains before and after the FIFA World Cup. They're restricting it to passengers actually going to the stadium instead of regular commuters who want to take New Jersey Transit to go elsewhere. They're going to be forced to take other transit options. You have Amtrak, which runs on the same tracks as New Jersey Transit, so go figure that out. You also have buses to go to New Jersey. You have the PATH train, which is sort of a subway. Well, it is a subway that goes to New Jersey. So those New Jersey Transit people who don't go to the World Cup are going to have to take those alternate modes of transportation and then switch to New Jersey Transit past the stadium to get where they're going. Because all trains out of Penn Station run past Secaucus Junction, and at Secaucus Junction you have to get off and change to another train to take you to the stadium. Because when they built the stadium and the Secaucus Junction, they didn't really think too well to have a one-seat ride to go to the stadium. So that's number one. And number two, according to some reports, they're going to jack up the ticket prices to take one round trip for the FIFA World Cup matches to $100.
And I thought the insanity that's happening in Toronto, who is also hosting some World Cup games, was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Including the, scheduled shutdowns for the World Cup, including all the other garbage they're doing. And I was going, what you're dealing with is like yikes compared to Toronto, as bad as Toronto's is. Holy moly.
Yeah. So that's that thing. And then the other situation, of course, being security and everything, some big VIP guests showing up, and you read conflicting reports every day. FIFA, high ticket prices. Some companies like Marriott making sure that there are tickets on sale for the FIFA World Cup. And now there's a big there was a big news announcement that came late this afternoon. A jury finding that Live Nation and Ticketmaster had a monopoly on ticket sales online for a lot of places.
To which I will reply, that's like saying they just found out water's wet. Okay? No. Live Nation and Ticketmaster are basically, scalpers extraordinaire, but legal. As I said, this is from somebody who's had to use their services in the past, and yet finds things and it's just like,
Well, it's crunch time for that aspect. That's the only thing now that we can pay attention to. The 8 matches that are going to happen in our neck of the woods here, and the some that are going to happen for you as soccer fever hits a high pitch. I don't know. I'm sure
that was a horrible pun, and you don't even realize you did it. Maybe you do. I don't know.
I realized it. Yeah.
There we go. Learning.
But no, we'll be able to watch soccer. I don't know how Americans will feel compared to the rest of the world, where soccer is prized in so many countries. Interesting to see how things turn out.
I'll say this. Up here anyway, there are stories that there are apparently blocks of tickets in U.S. cities that are being released by FIFA because nobody's buying. And they're like, oh, crap. To which I would reply, given the situation, are you at all surprised?
Mm-hmm.
My answer, and I say this, and I say, if you act surprised in any way, shape, or form, I will say, have you been asleep for the past 12 months or so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
or you haven't filled up your car in the last 12 months. I don't know.
Been reading some more reports from Japan, which I will touch on now, and it makes sense for Bree and I. There's been a report about the number of foreign visitors to Japan, a record high for the month of March this year, despite drops in travelers from China and the Middle East. Now, Japan and China relations have soured. Obviously, the political situation in the Middle East. And I would imagine that in the coming months, travel numbers will probably be affected by what is going on in the Middle East as well, and the fuel costs and everything. But 3.61 million foreigners visited the country in March, according to the JNTO. Although visitors from China and the Middle East plunged, the declines were offset by increases in visitors from other parts of the world, mostly from South Korea and Taiwan. 795,000 and 653,000 respectively. The United States in third place with 375,000, an increase of 9.7% from the previous March.
To which I would reply, you have money to do that? Okay,
yeah. And again, the way things now we're hearing that All Nippon Japan Airlines are going to really significantly hike the fuel surcharges. They have to do that every 2 months. So the next fuel surcharge hike is in June. If you guys thinking about going to Japan, I would strongly advise you to get your tickets before the end of May, because come June 1st, those significant fuel hikes are going to take effect.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, this is fun. All I can say is, driving my electric car, I just go by the signs and go, yikes, yikes, yikes. Because again, while it doesn't affect me directly, trucks that deliver things use diesel. And up here, diesel at one point was $2.30 a liter.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's finally come down under $2. Like, it's $1.98 a liter. But I'm still going, if I'm driving anything that was a diesel motor right now, I am certainly crying.
Yeah. And also in Japan. Okay. Have you heard about oh, yes, I have. Have you heard about talk that United is looking to buy American as an airlines, Nef?
To which I would reply, dude, have you seen what happened to the Canadian aviation industry once consolidation happened? Whoops! Don't go there. Don't go there.
Yeah, that would create a big monopoly and less choice, I would think, right?
Exactly the problem. See, that was the problem when, at the time, Air Canada bought Canadian Pacific, right? So they bought them, and just giant monopoly. Then, of course, WestJet comes along. They grow a little bit. Now they've turned into basically the Western version of Air Canada, where they basically, rotten service, high prices. And they're like, we're just like our competition.
I know that some of the people that have worked for American have reportedly been not too pleased with the way American is going. And so there's now this kind of possibility. And the The type of government that currently runs our country might approve such a thing.
When you say runs the country, you are basically, how can I put this politely? Giving them a little too much credit. I mean, this is a government. It's going after the Pope. Like, what? No. You don't go after His Holiness. Like, no.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope. And some of the things that are going around now, I'm like, this is the reality we're living in.
This is like, can I go back about 20 years when the world was sane?
Yeah. I've been going back in Flight Simulator in time with the L10 11, and maybe if I have an opportunity here, Nef, I will show you. Now, I haven't flown it yet in the game. That's going to be coming back at some other point. But I'm going to try to fly the L10 11 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's a recent release. I hope I can do that soon. I got to find where I put my screenshots because... yes,
the L10 11 with the engine in the back.
Yeah.
In that weird position.
Let's see here. So, White Namikaze did the artwork for the tail, and a guy that I've been working with and collaborating with, Aldo's done the livery. So if I can find where these screenshots are saved, here they are. No, I need where the Xbox pictures are, Xbox game pictures are saved, and I can't seem to, they don't seem to be pinned for me right now. I'm just going to look real quick.
Windows 11.
I don't think I can find them at the moment, unfortunately. So I'm very sorry about that, folks. Maybe sometime down the road, if I'm more prepared for this, I can show you. It's just an idea that I had now. So, but no.
Let's put it this way: at least you're only trying to find screenshots and can't.
Yeah.
My Windows 11 machine at work demands now that the only way I can log in successfully is to physically disconnect myself from the wired network, log in over wireless, and then reconnect the wired network.
Jeez.
And IT has no idea what's going on. And I'm going, if you don't have any idea what's going on, you think I do? Like, I'm a decent hobbyist, but not in this network stuff.
Let's see. Video. Oh, it's in the video folder, maybe? Let's see. Why my screenshots be in the video folder? Apparently they are. There they are.
Yes, Windows does whatever the heck it wants, and you're just going to like it.
So I'm just going to pop this on the screen on top of everything else real quick and make sure that I've transformed to fit to screen. Okay, there it is. That is the Yumemi Airlines TriStar.
As I said, I see that engine there, and I just go, whoever designed that really just didn't care. It's just, I'm going to put that engine right there.
Apparently, well, this was very sophisticated for its time, but you still had, unlike the MD-11 that we've flown, there's the tail art, by the way, that you can see. Both Aldo and Felicia did an amazing job. And yes, the TriStar logo is borrowed from the same one that you can find on the old Delta airplanes. The livery itself, if you look over here, it's based off of what the Transworld Airlines logo was back in the day. So, we're looking for
the color, and I'm looking at the color and saying, reminds me of the Italian airline Alitalia.
Oh yeah, right. I can see that. But this is something where it was still flown by 3 people in the flight deck: your captain, your first officer, and your flight engineer, which has the side panel. When you fly this, you kind of have to actually learn what's going on with the flight engineer's panel, so everything works correctly with the electricity and the hydraulics and the fuel. because that's how it was back in the days. It originally came out in the 70s, and then in the 80s, it became more prolific. I want to say that the L-1011 was the first airplane I've ever flown in when I was a kid. So I have a little bit of a soft spot for it. The first time I was on a plane, I was a few years old, and I went on a trip with my family. We went from LaGuardia to Miami on Eastern Airlines. And they only flew two types of planes out of LaGuardia back in those days. The L-1011, which you just saw, and the A300 from Airbus. So I was a funny feeling. I remember a big, big cabin, and I remember being on, it was one of those two planes. There's a 50-50 shot, and I'm guessing I was on the L-1011. So.
Yes, and back then the in-flight entertainment was basically whatever they happened to load. And you had, at least in the planes I've flown in, you had this little wheel where you could scroll through maybe 12 programs. each of those programs was about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did overseas flights, which I did as a kid, basically you a 7-hour flight, 8-hour flight, you're like, oh God, I've got to find something I want to listen to, and I don't want to listen to that.
And back in the day, you can even see it in photos and videos, in addition to the projection screen that they had, you listen to looping radio as well as the video entertainment. You listen to it through stethoscopes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that was.
I remember those because those things would always. I would always have problems. I would always get like pressure issues, like my ears would pop every time I put those things in my ears.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was nasty.
So this is the Yumemi jet is something I definitely want to try flying in Flight Simulator on a stream. Although, because there's so much going on, I don't know if I'll be able to do like sometimes. A lot of times when we do the Flight Sim stream, we do something else. Like we do lurk bait, we do Balatro or something like that. Maybe I'll open lurk bait and you guys can lurk bait while I'm paying attention to analog flying and balancing fuel tanks.
I was just say, while you're trying to keep this thing in the air.
Yeah. Because there's so much attention. You have to pay attention very much to a lot of the stuff that's going on. As a matter of fact, I am now following a YouTuber online whose content I really like for flight simulation called A330 Driver. And I made a request for him to do an L-1011 flight from LaGuardia to Miami like I did when I was a kid. So once that video comes out public, maybe I'll post a link in the Discord so you guys can check it out and see how he's actually a real life captain. He is an A330 pilot. He flies the A330 for a major European airline, does a lot of international flying, and has formerly flown the 737 as well.
Okay, I'm just thinking, this guy has basically is handling Ferraris. Now you're asking him to handle a Chevette with a leaking oil cap and a transmission that's slipping, and wow, you're really forcing this guy to work.
No, he does a really good job on what he does, and I kind of get my inspiration for flight simulation a lot lately from him, especially during the times where it's hard for me to get in front of this computer to do my hobby and stuff. So I give him a credit for that. One more thing, Nef, I wanted to point out because the hour is getting late. You'd find this interesting. This is the article that I mentioned. It was also on Anime News Network. The Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry in Japan announced at a seminar that they want to expand the overseas market for its domestic creative industries to a total of 20 trillion yen, or about 125 billion US dollars by 2033, with a goal for the anime industry to roughly triple the overseas market in less than 10 years, with a 6 trillion yen, or about a $37 billion goal for 2033. Do you think that is a feasible estimate?
Well, considering they've just had a studio go under, I wonder how they think they're going to be able to produce sufficient quality output to get to that number when you already have studios now struggling to survive.
Right.
And I'm going, I don't know about this. I think this is a bit of, what I like to call optimistic thinking.
And let's see. The government's basic strategy for the anime industry is to raise the performance-based pay rate of workers and to increase the production of what they call blockbuster works. Ones that would do well in the outside of Japan market, I guess.
Yeah, and that just scares me because one of the things about anime is you never know what will be a blockbuster. Like, you have some ideas, but there are shows that have really taken off that I can guarantee you they thought were going to go nowhere or very little.
Yeah.
Like, I will say this point blank. I will say anybody, for example, who thought Spy X Family would do as well as it has from the beginning, no.
Yeah.
No, if you're saying it would have done as much as it has now, I'm going to call you a liar at this point because no. Considering the premise, there was every possibility this would not have taken off the way it has.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the reliance on blockbusters, they're falling into the Hollywood trap. The Hollywood trap of, bigger, shinier, flashier, boomier. Yeah, that works to a point. But after a while, you can't go any flashier, shinier, boomier, explosioner. No, it doesn't work. It bores people.
Right.
So I think they should concentrate on producing stories that are engaging. Right. That's what gets people to say, hey, I want to plunk my money down on that.
I'll give you a quick example of what you were just talking about. For my birthday, I watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie, my family and I, which was very good. I highly recommend it. If you haven't watched the first one, you should watch the first one on, streaming, and then go watch the second one, or I don't think it's going to be very long before that shows up on streaming either. But my birthday was the day it was released, and my local cinema, you could watch it. You could watch the standard screening. You could watch the RPX screening, which has the better video and sound quality. You could watch the real 3D screening with the 3D glasses. You could watch the real 3D RPX screening, which combines those two big things. And then you have the 4DX, which if I read correctly, those are the motion seats developed in either South Korea or Taiwan, where there is motion to the seats while the movie's going on. And they make you agree to a disclaimer when you buy the tickets that the theater won't be held liable or responsible if you get injured or anything.
And of course, each ticket is $50 US.
We went for the standard screening. Thank you very much.
I was going to say nobody's going to pay $50 US for that screening, but no, maybe there might be enough.
Karen is back here at the start of the show. Any danger disclaimer, and I'm in. That's what Liz said. Now, I might ask Karen when we come on the air for Ace Attorney here in a moment, what she thought, because there's a new collab going on now between Popeyes and One Piece. Popeyes, the Louisiana fast food chain.
Yeah, and they got into a heap of trouble up here.
Popeyes?
Legal trouble, yes. Because apparently one of their franchisees was storing their chicken in regular freezers, not commercial grade. Yeah. Now, none of the allegations have been proven yet in court.
Right.
But the fact that they made those accusations says to me, where there's smoke, there's not only smoked barbecue, there's smoked chicken.
Yeah. Food poisoning central. That's what she says. Right.
Bingo.
Wow. But I'll be interested to see what her thoughts on that. I've got a local Popeyes nearby, so if I have an opportunity by the end of this week, I may try to stop by and see what sort of interesting flavors they have for the One Piece collab. But that is going to wrap up the XAR podcast for today. If you'd like to reach us, Nef will tell you how to do so.
If you'd like to reach us, we have multiple ways to do that. The old-fashioned way, quote-unquote, extremeanimeradio@gmail.com, or hit us up on linktree.com/animeradio. And there you'll find all of our social media ways. We've got our Instagram account @extremeanimeradio, our mascot Instagram account, XAR Mascots, our Facebook page at Anime Radio, our Blue Sky account, animeradio.bluesky.social, and we have our YouTube channel @extremeanimeradio. Archive versions of this podcast are available at xarpodcast.net or your favorite podcasting platform.
So, and as I mentioned, all the links are at linktree.com/anime-radio. Liz just said, salmonella included for free.
No, you have to pay extra for that up here anyway.
The GST and the HST, right?
And the PST as in blah.
Well, on that healthy note, folks, we thank you for tuning in. Once again, we will stream here in a little bit, Ace Attorney. Tomorrow's stream is up in the air. We'll let you know during the day tomorrow what's going to happen. Next week, probably not going to stream. I need to keep that week clear for the time being because I have relatives visiting from out of town that haven't been here in quite a long time. So for family reasons, I got to keep that week clear for the time being. If there's an opportunity next week to stream, I will let you know. It might have to be the last minute. And in that case, maybe we'll break out the the 3-engine plane, Nef.
The 3-legged plane. Oh, that would be. Yeah, we've seen planes that, all their landing gear hasn't worked quite right, and we've seen what happens when that happens.
So that is a big reason why we ask you to please go to our Discord, the link of which you can find at linktree.com/anime-radio. But we thank you for tuning in for the podcast today on this Tax Day and the quote-unquote National Anime Day. Again, we don't know where Anime Day came from, who created it, but we do celebrate it today. So happy Anime Day. And until we see you next time, remember,
keep on looking out for Extreme Radio Twitch streams. And don't forget, archives of our podcast are available at xarpodcast.net. That's xarpodcast.net for your favorite podcasting platform. Good night, everybody.
He's Nef. I'm JR. Thanks for watching and listening. See you next time, folks.
We are Extreme Anime Radio. The Nero Band Station.
Extreme Anime Radio.